Hi everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. I'm Anthony Toma, your host. We'd like to welcome Wisam Yono from Basement Blackouts today. I know everyone's wondering, Basement Blackouts, what's that? So stay tuned and you will find out. Thanks for joining us today, sir.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Basement Blackout is?
So, Basement Blackout, it's basically self-explanatory. We go in there, spray the basement black. I mean, if you have drop ceilings, we take care of that. A lot of new builds, they don't put up the dry ceiling. So we go in there, clean the stuff up, clean the wires up, and then spray it black. We spray it any color paint you want, but obviously we
Blackout hides the most flaws, right?
It hides a lot. It hides a lot. You know, as far as wires, as far as spider webs, you know, obviously we clean that up before we go ahead and spray.
Yep.
It just an even easy access. I mean, later on, if you're a homeowner, you automatically know whether you like it or not. You're gonna have problems eventually with the basements, you know. And so when you do, it's very easy accessible. Whether it's pipes, whether it's wires, like I said, you know.
Yeah. So you're blacking out the basement ceiling you're saying is better than, you know, drywalling it and then having to break the drywall to fix an issue that's upstairs, plumbing, electrical, running cable wires, and all that stuff.
I mean, of course, if you have drop ceiling, you're not going to be able to take one tile and then just knock it down. You're basically going to have to take a whole section or maybe the whole thing.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people forget about the little rails that you have, so you got to take that out too. So it's just it's a project. And, and it doesn't sound like a cheap project at all. So
so I've seen a lot of the befores and afters, and the pictures are you know, it does so much for the basement. The basement looks, you know, clean, almost wireless. You know, usually you go in the basement, and if you look up, you see a bunch of wires and lights and everything and blah blah blah, and different colors, and everything's, you know, kind of clashing with it, and then you see the after, and it's like it like smokes everything
very
out.
Clean.
Makes it look beautiful.
Very clean, and it gives it a clean look too, you know.
Yeah.
And especially with older basements, you have the little short basements, and you take the drop ceiling out. It gives it that few extra feet, makes it seem a little taller, you know.
Yeah. So this is for people even with current drop ceilings or drywall that kind of needs to be removed or can be removed to give them the extra headroom in their basement.
Exactly.
For storage or anything that they want to kind of do down there.
Exactly.
That's good. That's a great benefit. So let's talk a little bit about pre-basement blackouts. What did you do before? What got you into this? And then we'll talk a little bit about the future of basement blackouts.
Okay, so prior to basement blackout, I was running my uncle's business, which was a gas station business.
Yep.
I did that for about 4 years.
Okay.
And then
Where was it at? You want to shout out your customers? What?
Oh yeah, of course. 23 in Chesterfield.
Okay.
23 in Gratiot. It's in Chesterfield.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
So, you know, it was my friend Anthony Myers had started Basement Blackout at the time, and it was around the same time that I was trying to kind of get out of the liquor store, gas station, and all the business that we've learned to accustomed to work in, and you know, just kind of wanted to make my own way. And at the same time, my friend couldn't, you know, manage it 100% because he had his own things going. And it just worked out perfect, you know, just the perfect opportunity. And we sat down and had a long talk about it, and then it just made sense. It made sense for me to take over and operate it.
Yeah. So Anthony was in the lead gen space.
Yes.
Online marketing space. He started Blackout Basements. Basement Blackout.
Basement Blackout.
Yeah. And then you took it over.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then so now you're going to grow it. How do you plan on growing it? And
so obviously social media is a big thing.
Yep.
And that's what we're going heavy after. Your Instagram, your Facebook, your Snapchat, other advertising avenues, you know, as far as even us collaborating with you with the shirts, you know, that's a very exciting opportunity. And, you know, put up signs everywhere and just word of mouth, man.
Right.
Word of mouth.
So what he's talking about is at Cafe Suco, we posted an offering to print some shirts and the Cafe Suco logo on the front and the Basement Blackout logo on the back. We offered it out, and Basement Blackout took advantage of it. So you'll see Basement Blackout at Cafe Suco on the backs of the T-shirts. We'll be handing out T-shirts with the Cafe Suco logo on the front and the Basement Blackout on the back. So look for those. Head out to Cafe Suco.
Very excited.
Hit up Basement Blackout. We're going to get him some shirts as well, and he can provide them to his customers.
That's right.
So the process of the whole thing. So you're advertising somewhere, right?
Right.
As Basement Blackout. People are finding you. They're landing on a landing page or an application, or they're seeing a video. How do people find you?
So people find us on Facebook and Instagram. We work with Facebook as far as advertising goes.
Yeah.
And that's most of our traffic. Most of our traffic comes from Facebook. And then it's a very easy process, man. We go off of the square footage. My wife Megan runs the behind the scenes. She'll be the one answering the phones, messages, or emails.
Yep.
And like I said, it's a very easy process. As long as we get the square footage down, we can give you a quote right there and then.
How does somebody determine their square footage? Do you help them out with that?
Of course. I mean, most people know their square footage. If not, we have no problem going out and giving a quote in person. Okay. Even measuring for you if we need to. And sometimes you just go on the listing and it tells you the square footage of the basement.
What if a basement has like just stuff everywhere? Like, is there a additional cost for that?
A little bit of additional cost. Yeah. Nothing crazy, And even with that, I mean, most of our jobs take 2 days to complete, but what you just referred to might take us 3 days, right? So if a basement is
more just time.
Just time, and then obviously time costs money, so that's when we,
Yeah.
And if it's a 1,500 square foot basement, we'll move literally everything to one side, paint this side, clean it up the next day, and then do the same thing the next day. Gotcha. So there's nothing that we really haven't seen or we can't deal with.
Gotcha. So you have some additional services you've been offering?
Offering, yes.
What services?
Yeah, so as I was saying, we're still trying to grow, and that's one of our goals. So one of the main services that we're starting to offer is wall painting, hardwood floors, cleanups after jobs.
All right.
And we're just thinking of ideas as we go on and as we grow.
Yeah. So to give somebody an idea, what would a 1,500 square foot basement run roughly?
Just for the ceilings, or
just for the ceiling.
For the ceiling,
the Blackout.
We have 3 different packages.
Okay.
Again, the bigger the basement, the cheaper it is, of course. But to answer your question, 1,500 square feet will run you anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500.
Oh shit, cheap.
Yeah. It's really cheap, man. And when you think about it, like I talk to a lot of contractors and builders, and the numbers you hear, 40, 50, 60,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If anyone's doing a new build, it would probably be a benefit to get you in there while it's open.
100%. And we're very familiar with new builds. We work in Oxford. There's a lot of new builds. Ann Arbor.
Yep.
So it's a very good package, man. I mean, for about $10,000, you'll get your ceilings, your walls, and your floors. And
it's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah. And you said you're putting hardwood. What are you putting on the floor?
We also do. We have somebody on the team that does hardwood flooring.
Oh shit.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
What are some of the craziest things you've come across, if any, that kind of freaked you out? Maybe dead body in a basement or something like that?
No dead bodies, thank God. No dead bodies, but definitely bats. I did a job in Lansing. Yeah, the basement was very, very old, man, and then and big hole in the corner. And I said, if bats don't live in there, then I don't know anything, But even that being said, we still went on. We still covered everything like we were supposed to, and then still did the job. And even funny story to add to the story, the owner came down and she said, "Oh yeah, we actually had bats in here." And then I said, "I'm glad you told me that after the job."
Thank you. So somebody fills out an application, right?
Yes.
You schedule them, or the missus schedules them. And then what's the process after that? So they get a call and say, hey, you know, we got your application, or what is it? What is the process?
So that's the process. We call them back or email back, just depending how they reached out to us, and then basically confirm everything, set up a date, and then we go from there. It's really not much to it. A few questions that we like to ask. Obviously, how big the basement is.
Yep.
If it's a new build. And if there's a lot of stuff in there that we need to come and be prepared for, you know,
right,
how many people that we need to bring with us that day.
Gotcha. So you have a crew of 3 guys, 4 guys?
We have a crew of 3 to 5 guys, just depending on how many need to go out on the job.
Okay.
Yep.
And then with the expansion, or with the added business and you know, the blowing up of all of the leads that you're going to get from the Keeping Up with the Chaldeans, 1.7 billion viewers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Are you looking to fill? Are you looking to hire some extra people? Is there a process for them?
Of course. We're like I keep stating, we're always looking to grow. That's our #1 goal. And with that comes, you're gonna need, you know, more painters. You're gonna need, obviously, labor is always needed. You know, you're gonna need people to answer phones. I mean, my wife is pregnant right now, and she runs the behind the scenes, and you know, she's a beast because she still manages all that. But eventually, when you do grow a lot bigger, you're gonna need more than one person behind the scenes.
So how would somebody submit an application to be part of Basement Blackout?
Reach out just like you would reach out for a quote, and then tell me what you're trying to do, and then, you know, I'll have a phone conversation or face to face, and then we'll go from there.
Nice. So what is your typical day? You wake up in the morning, and then what happens?
My typical day, I wake up in the morning, feed the 4 cats and the dog.
No shit.
Okay.
4 cats.
4 cats and a dog, man. 2 of them are ours. We adopted the other 2. We had no choice.
God bless you.
Thank you. So yeah, get ready for the day. If we start a job, we obviously go prep for a job, get it ready, spray, and then like I said, it's a 2-day process.
Yep.
So even if you complete that first job, you're still not done. You still have, you know, your touch up and all that. And get the guys ready. If I need to be on the job, I have no problem getting my hands dirty.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Matter of fact, I go on almost every job and then help people prep. You know, help my coworkers prep. And then same thing. The next day I would go either help the other crew start with the job, and check on the other crew from the job from yesterday, and just basically trying to manage everything.
Gotcha. And then what about shouting some folks out, or you know, giving some of your boys a little shout out?
Boys, I don't know. I really consider them brothers. I know a lot of people use that word a lot, you know, but I mean, they're really like my brothers, you know. Anthony Myers, Sargon Yaku, Ron Yonan, Jason Marcus, and my brother Martin Yono.
Gotcha.
You know, we're a very tight crew. You know. We're all in our 30s, and I still remember we grew up in the same apartment complex, you know, almost 20 years ago.
That's insane.
And everybody's a beast in their own mind, in their own right.
In their own field.
There you go.
Yeah. So Martin's in the car sales.
Martin's a car salesman. Yes, he works for Elder Ford in Troy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody's looking for a Ford, hit them up, right?
Very easy, man.
And what about the other fellas?
So as you mentioned, Anthony's a marketer.
Yep.
He's probably one of the baddest marketers I know in Michigan.
Yeah.
You know, very good guy. Sargon is an electrician. He owns his little electricity company.
Nice.
And then Ronaldo's he's in a realtor game, you know, houses and all that.
Beautiful.
And Jason Marcus, same as Anthony, marketing.
Okay.
And basically trying to get into that field. He's been doing that for almost 2 years.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very, very cool. So what have we left out or not talked about that you'd like to bring to the audience's attention? You want to pitch them something? You want to tell them more about Basement Blackout?
Yeah, of course. Basement Blackout is we're almost a 2-year-old company. We're still brand new. We're still looking to grow. When I go into people's houses, I literally treat it like it's my house. I mean, there's sometimes a touch-up will take like an hour, but we're there for 4 hours, you know, because believe me, there's no way you're going to see a spot up there if I don't shine a light to it. But just because I know that it's there, I just don't feel right about it, you know.
That's cool. That's somebody you want on a job. And
yes, and that's one thing I grew up learning from my father. Just treat everybody and like you want to be treated. I know it's a little, you know, funny to say because a lot of people say that, but I really truly believe in that, you know, and that goes a long way with our customers.
Who's your pops? You want to shout him out?
My dad is Yono.
Yeah,
one of the greatest men I know.
Oh man. So what else? Is there anything else we want to throw out there?
No, man. We just want to get big. We want to get familiar with the community because it's still a new company, like you just mentioned. People hear Basement Blackout.
Yeah, but it's really not that new. It's you know, it's 2 years old. All of the processes have been tightened up. Everything is systematic.
Yes.
There's a phone call, there's a quote, there's a schedule, there's a crew, there's prep, there's spray, there's touch up, there's put all your shit back where it belongs, clean up and get out.
Yes, I mean
that's boom, boom.
Like
boom,
I said,
boom,
it's a small company, but we run it like a 500 fortune company, man.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm
sorry. And what I meant by new company, because the Basement Blackout, the Blackout is a lot of people are familiar with the industrial buildings, the gyms and the Chipotles and such, you know.
Right.
So it's kind of still new in basements, and that's what I kind of mean by it.
Yeah, and that gives you a huge opportunity to expand and get more business because people are now seeing it like I saw it. I was astonished at first at like the transformation. I mean, you just see the way a basement takes like a totally different look when the when the ceiling is blacked out, and it's just cleaner, and it's gonna you as a owner of the house, when the basement ceiling is blacked out and clean like that, you're just gonna declutter it yourself.
Right.
And then when you guys come in, you kind of get everything here and there, and then people, after it's clean, they're going to say, I'm not going to leave this junk here or there.
No. It kind of forces you to,
you know? Yeah. So if it's like a spring cleaning injection of adrenaline to get people to kind of clean up their basements and make them brighter and cleaner.
I can't say it any better. Yeah. And you know, to focus on what you were just saying, we just did a supermarket in Lansing.
Okay.
And you know, you can tell with supermarkets, a lot of wires, and you got the ductwork, and man, it just looked like a clown show up there, you know. Right. And then once you put the black on there, man, it looks like the building would just put up, you know.
Yep.
So it makes a whole lot of difference.
So you do offer this in commercial settings as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that's very important that we didn't kind of touch on, which I'm glad we had the opportunity to let our community know that you know this is available for the commercial side as well.
Yes, sir.
Very, very cool. Do we want to get technical and talk about like the paint and how much long it lasts and all that good stuff, or that's not
necessary?
Not necessary.
If you like to bring it up, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't missing anything. So I guess we're gonna close out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'd like to maybe add one more thing about growing a company and all that.
Sure.
So a lot of people, when they hear Basement Blackout, what I want them to get out of that name is just a peace of mind. I want them to be familiar with the name and comfortable with the name. You know, that we're not out to get every single dollar, and we're not out to, if you tell us to hit this little area or clean this little area, there's no add-ons, and we just do it because we're gonna do it. And that's what it is. I want us to be a household name, in Michigan, and hopefully in the whole country.
Yeah, for sure. It has that feeling. It has that feel about it. Like when you see the ads, when I saw the ad, like I instantly gravitated to wow, this is a cool concept. And then come to find out it's Anthony Meyer's, a project. And I was like, you sucker.
Well, he worked under you when we were younger, so I'm sure he learned, he picked up a couple of good things from you.
He's a good man. I learned a lot from him as well.
Yeah, Anthony's a beast, for sure.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming out. We close out every show by asking a final question, and that is, what does it mean to you to be Chaldean?
What does it mean to be for me to be Chaldean? Well, it means a lot. I mean, we come from a country that we were basically kicked out of, you know, and for us to keep that name, and then it goes a long way, you know. So
bringing it here and bringing the values here.
Of course, and that's the main things, our values, you know, and what we believe in, and of course I carry that into my everyday life, and I try to move that way.
So as a guy that adopted a bunch of cats, you and your boys adopted the white boy, Anthony Myers, too, right, into the community?
It was a perfect match. It was a perfect match. I don't know if we adopted him or he adopted us. It was a perfect match, man.
That's awesome.
You know, and I can't, you know, and not to knock anybody down or anything, but I can't think of any other group as tight as us, or, you know, if Anthony says, hey, I closed the deal for XYZ amount, you know, it's, we would never think like, man, I gotta do this or do that, or it just pushes us harder to go even harder. And really, it's just a lot of joy to hear your boys or, you know, your brothers, they're doing good and stuff like that, you know. So
I'm blessed. So everybody out there, go take a look in your basement, look up. If you're not happy with what you see, call Basement Blackout. Wisam will be there to make sure that you have a sense of pride when you look up in your basement.
That's right. If it's not me, it's my wife that will pick up the phone or answer the emails or messages. It's very tight-knit family business.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. Thank you,
for having
everyone. We'll see you all next time.